Hello and welcome on this fresh edition of the morning after. This is a day when we have already celebrated San Juan. We are back to work, and one more thing is that today it's still raining. San Juan may have got over, but the spirit of San Juan still remains. But somehow we have to get back get back to work. One thing which we have been always discussing is about Santines Creek, and one thing which we are always concerned is about our own Panjim city. We saw yesterday CCP workers going on strike. They have said that we will not leave the garbage and will not allow others also to leave the garbage. That means in monsoons you can expect bad situations happening here, precarious situations happening here. What's wrong with Panjim and what is happening with Santines Creek? Why citizens are quiet even after elections on these issues, and to analyze various other issues we have with us Armando Gonçalves. Welcome, sir, on the show.
Good morning.
Armando Gonçalves is one person who is known for his tirade against, in fact tirade for getting Santines Creek cleaned up. It's not against anyone,
Absolutely.
I presume.
Absolutely.
Okay, so we will, before we talk to Mr. Gonçalves, we'll go through the stories of the day. Herald has carried front page story about Margaon's people tell the council, do not mess with us. This is a follow-up of what the battle for Margaon that we had in Margaon's BPS club. Various people had come. MMC chairperson Arthur had come. MLAs like Digambar Kamath, Vijay Sardesai, Nilesh Cabral, and even Alex Reginald had come. We even had Rajiv Gomes there, and various people. Also we had Sridhar Kamath, Fomento Green CEO, who was there. Now the story is that we had promised people that we will follow up this issue, and we are going by our promise. We are following up this issue. We have people have told the MMC, please be serious about this issue of garbage, about Sonsodo, and don't mess up with us. Another story is by Shweta Kamath. It's a front page story. The state without anti-corruption heads. If you go to see that CIC and SIC are not having any head, and Lokayukta has not, we don't have a Lokayukta in place, and it's taking too much of a time. And now the questions are being raised, really whether BJP wants to curb corruption in this state, or they want to leave this in a haphazard manner in such a way that no one can go against corruption. The zero tolerance towards corruption seems to be falling flat on their face. Some seems to be falling flat, and actually this is being exposed. Another thing is a story about Goa excise lacks reciprocal agreement with other states, and state excise earns rupees 5 lakh daily on a liquor permits and rupees 1.5 crore per month, lacks mechanism to verify whether the liquor is carried to the state mentioned on the permit, and customers allege that Goa state officers themselves do not validate these permits. This is another concern as far as excise is concerned. Let's talk about our major concerns first. What's wrong with Panjim?
I think it's the pygmy approach from all politicians. They are scared of each other. There is no cooperation between different arms of the executive. The mayor, at least today, the mayor is with the government. But last time, I remember the mayor and the chief minister having their own problems. I think the time has come for us to think big instead of think negative. Instead of dividing ourselves, let's say 1 + 1 should become 11. I think that philosophy should touch us. We Goans have been known to be extremely positive people. We are known to be some of the best workers anywhere in the world. But we are making a mess of ourselves here. I think we should be ashamed.
Okay, what point you raised initially was right. Initially they were saying that the mayor is different from a different political setup. MLA is from different political setup, and a commissioner is like HMV is master's voice of MLA. Correct. And that was creating problem. Correct. Now you have a mayor from BJP, MLA from BJP. Sanjeet is a really good officer provided he works. Okay, CM is a BJP, Center is a BJP. So what's wrong?
Yeah, again, as I said, I would not like to really point at ourselves, but even what we are doing, say, for example, for the Kampal Creek, we have done a hell of a lot of work with different sections of the society. The government is not even interested in working with us. So the spirit of cooperation doesn't exist at all. And this is one thing the people should rise against. It is people like you and me who have to rise. because that's the only time when the political bosses will start taking notice. Why do you think that the 68 crores has been earmarked in the budget? It's been earmarked because today it's become a political issue. So we need to tell our political so-called masters, they're not masters, they are servants actually. We must tell them very clearly, enough is enough. The state is in a mess, the city is in a mess, and the time for action has come.
Okay, one more thing is that, again back to the same thing. Do you think they don't want to clean it up?
Sometimes I get that feeling because there seems to be nothing happening. Whether it's vote bank politics, whether they are worried about rehabilitation of the people, there were 700, 800 slum dwellers there. Somehow or the other, nothing has been happening. We have been working for the last 3 years. I would say yes to your question, and that appalls me, and it saddens me that we cannot see something that, our mother is dying, our city is dying. As our mother is dying, we are fighting amongst ourselves. It's like two brothers saying that, no, let's have our own fight, let our mother die in the meantime. That's exactly what's happening to Pancham, and that's exactly what's happening to Goa.
Okay, so this again, I'm asking you a little diverting from the actual questions. I want to ask political questions also, is because we have seen people walking in your Gonsalves mansion, people like Parrikar walking in your Gonsalves mansion, joining you for a cause. We have seen Siddharth Kukolekar coming to your mansion, if I'm not wrong. Even Sanjeet Rodriguez is so close to you.
Very much, all of them.
So why is that things are not happening?
We have always, as a member of the NGO group of Goa, we have always told them that we are not political. And we are certainly not political. We would welcome supporting Mr. Manohar Parrikar or Siddharth Kukolekar for that matter, or Surendra Futat for that matter, or just anyone who says that we are going to do something good for Goa. But somehow or the other, the rot has set in. The rot has set in. It is as if there is no traction at all. The car has come to a stop. The government is in a total mess. They might claim what they want, but the government is doing nothing.
Is it that they are worried that if I clean Santines Creek, then Arman will be taking the credit and he might contest next election?
I can make a categorical statement that I am not interested in elections. The simple reason I am not interested in elections, the rot is so deep. Just one person getting into the political spectrum, mainstream is not going to change things. So what we are doing at the Goa Forgiving Trust, we are trying to change the social fabric itself to the positive side. Like when we did Taste of Goa, the question asked me, what is the aim of Taste of Goa? My simple answer was to change the axis on which tourism rests. That was what Taste of Goa was marked at. And from which axis? The axis of sex, drugs, booze, sleaze, and all things evil, to art, culture, music, food, and all things good. Okay. So that is exactly where we are trying to say, let us shift the axis, let us not sit on what we are today. Because right now we are in the muck. So we are not going to be able to clean the muck. We have to start thinking. Our paradigm shift in thinking has to take place.
So we need to have a parallel system which will replace the existing muck.
People should realize that we are made of something good. Goa has been always known for something good. Why are we so laggardly right now? Why should we feel that we should be so depressed about the conditions? I think the people should rise. Much more than the political revolution that people are talking of, you require a social revolution. Because in 2012, there was a political revolution. Manohar Parrikar coming with 21 seats was 100% a political revolution. Goans were united. People complain that Goans are not united. Not true. Goans have been united for many causes. At the end of the day, there has to be a social change. And that social change is exactly what has to start today.
Okay, we'll come back to you. But before that, we'll just glance through inside pages of Herald, what has appeared on Herald. Goa Cricket Association controversy refuses to die down. It will still continue, and today we are expecting a hearing, a final order in the High Court about GCA elections and how many clubs can actually vote. Yesterday, Sarkar failed to produce evidence in the court. Dr. Shekhar Sarkar is a GCA president. He failed to produce evidence in the court, and he was asked in the court if he had any valid documents from any of the club. He failed to produce the required letters. He also did not have the emails from the club supporting the proxy names. This is getting little murkier, but we hope that solution is found out, and then finally, for the sake of cricket, GCA will remain a united body irrespective of the fights. And another story is about Anti-Corruption Bureau grills Sabaji for almost 2 hours. Sabaji Shetye was grilled for, he's a deputy collector, was grilled for 2 hours in connection with the corruption case filed against him during his tenure as a deputy collector of Badej. Again, this I want to ask about corruption. But before that, have you given up on Sandines Creek?
No, I haven't. I will never give up on the Sandines Creek. In fact, recently we met up with a group of architects in Porvorim, where they actually congratulated us about bringing this into the mainstream thought. Because again, when in 2012, when I was asked by mainstream media, Manohar Parrikar is the MLA of this place for 18 years. At that time, it was 18, and he was chief minister for 5 out of those 18. And that was, of course, a grilling question, because Manohar and I are friends. He comes to my home. So they asked, if he could not do it for 18 years, you think he will do it today? And this was soon after he became the chief minister in 2012. So my answer at that point of time was, I stay behind. I mean, the creek runs behind my home, and I have done nothing about it for the last 40 years as well. So let's stop blaming each other. Let's come together. Let's unite. And this is the main thought which I have, and a lot of friends of mine have, that it's time to give up all this what do you call that, the fights that are taking place within the polity. It's time that we unite. And I do believe that that with this type of a thinking, we will able to bring people together. We have people across the world who have realized that the Kampal Creek is today a political hot potato in the hands of the BJP government, and we can certainly do something. It should not be considered that I am an adversary to the government. We are certainly part of the state, and we will work with them.
Why can't they think positive in a way that if I clean Sandines Creek, then people will start voting for me?
Yes, of course. Because at the end of the day, does any of the political or do any of these political bosses, as we call them, feel that if the creek gets cleaned, that it's Armand Gonsalves going to get it? If that is the case, I would say that's a very pygmy way of looking at things. I would not look at it. I would say, come on, whoever is good within society, come forward, I will work with you. But that's not happening, because the government has not even come once to us. We have done such a lot. It's a proven thing that we have done such a lot. I have not got a single call. In fact, when Water Resources Minister flagged off the cleanup of the creek about a year back, no one has even bothered to say, Papa, please come, please be there.
They just flagged off just
Yes.
behind our office, and they have forgotten about it.
Yes, precisely. That's all symbolism. It's not really happening.
Anand Mandrekar, Water Resources Minister,
precisely.
came here with
Yeah.
his entire team,
Yes.
including Natkarni of Water Resources.
Yes.
They came here, assured that they will clean that creek as a part of Swachh Bharat Abhiyan.
That was 1
And
year back.
They forgot.
Absolutely. But I have not given up. To answer your question, I have not given up, because eventually we personally believe that this is not going to happen politically. It's going to happen at the social level. People are demanding it across the world. Architects are involved, engineers are involved, people are involved, ordinary people are involved. It is going to become a political hot potato in the hands of this. By 2017, if the government doesn't deliver, I think the time would have come to eject the forces within Pancham. A new leader will have to come up. I mean, I'm making a political statement, even though I'm not a politician. The time has come to tell them directly, sorry, we don't want you anymore.
You can't do something for us, then you
Please get out. As simple as that. It's an appeal I'm making to Siddharth Kunkalekar. He's a friend of mine as well. Mr. Manohar Parrikar, I respect him tremendously. The time has come to keep these personal things aside. Deliver. The time has come to deliver. This is a major crisis for Goa. And if you deliver, the time would have come then to clean the waters of the rest of Goa. It becomes a benchmark then.
Start from Sandines.
And that's exactly what we did for Mother's Day this year. We said, let's start saving the waters of Goa. And we had placards where we said, save Kumbar Jua Lake, save River Sal, save River Mandavi. Kampal Creek is 4.5 kilometers. There are hundreds of kilometers of waterways across Goa which need to be saved. Are we going to just keep our minds to the Kampal Creek? Sorry. The time has come for the people of Goa to rise and say, no, we are not going to accept this anymore. We are an educated state. Let's be an example. Let's be an example to the Ganges for that matter. We can provide that traction for the rest of the country.
Okay, we'll come back on this. One thing which you have said is significant, that we need to change the leaders if they can't perform. One more story is inside is about bursary scheme. It's a byline story by Vibha Verma. It is a recently launched bursary scheme for college students have found more takers than the decade-old interest-free educational loan scheme, considering that beneficiaries of the scheme are not bound to repay the financial benefit to government. This is one interesting story. And before we actually go to other papers, we will just glance through our Dainik Herald. Dainik Herald has carried a front page lead story, GCA over Tashere. It is the same story about High Court lashing out at Dr. Shekhar Sarkar, GCA president. This is also Another story is about Sabaji Shetye, ACB ची साबाजी शेट्टी यांची ACB तब्बल 2 तास चौकशी, सर्वे आणि पार्टिशन ऑफ प्रॉपर्टी प्रकरणी निकालात काढण्यासाठी पैसे उकळल्याचा आरोप. And we should not miss the picture of Sanjao, front page picture of Sanjao by Kailash Naik on Dainik Herald. And another story is about Kamdenu scheme. It's a front page anchor. कामधेनू योजनेचे अनुदान वाढवले, दुभती गुरे खरेदीची मर्यादा 60,000 पर्यंत. And one news which we cannot which needs actually a reaction from the state government is about there has been a problem in Keri Sattari as far as electricity is concerned, frequent power cuts, and people have come on the road and they blocked Belgaum हायवे. जलनगरीतच पाण्याची वानवा, विजेच्या लपंडावामुळे केरी सत्तरीत रास्ता रोको. जलनगरी in the sense that there is a dam in Keri, that's why it is called Jalanagari. Anyways, back to Santines Creek. When in 2017, presume that Santines Creek remains the same, which is a possibility. When someone will come to Gonsalves mention to ask for vote, what you will say?
I've been a regular supporter of the BJP government. I'm extremely vocal in what we do. I would reject them. That is for sure. If they cannot deliver by 2070, I would reject them, and I would call the people to reject them. But at the same time, we still have 2 years, and you have good people within the government, within the party. We can certainly work hand in hand with them, and we would do whatever is required. Whether it's our clout in social media, whether it's our clout in society, whatever clout we have, whatever strength we have, we would put all that into the basket of the government and tell the government we are totally with you. I'm making a public statement, we are totally with you, we will work with you. But please come forward. If you don't want us, how can we force ourselves? You know, we cannot we cannot push our leg into the door and say we want to help. But our commitment to the government is very clear. The government is our government today. So we are not in an adversarial position with them. But coming to your photograph of Saint Jean, all the wells in Kampal are contaminated. I would ask the government that we have a present from them that Saint Jean 2017 that we could jump into that well, because all the aquifers are contaminated, and we should drink water from that well 30 years, 35 years back. It is not possible to.
So 2017 or maybe 2018, Arman, Siddharth, everyone would be able to jump.
We would all love to jump into there. We are all friends. Let us enjoy. There are so many wells on this stretch, all of them which are contaminated. That would be a great present to the people of Kampal, to the people of Panjim, that the wells are finally, recharged and repowered. So that's
everyone
my request.
Will be jumping. Take me also.
That's my request. Yes, please.
Okay, wear a couple and jump at least. That would be the success story for
absolutely
any MLA
and till 2017, we are with the government. We say yes, we are putting all that we have and say government, you are our government. We are a part of it. We are part of one polity. We are part of one society. Let us not be, against each other. Let's work together.
Okay, there is another promise made by Siddharth Kukadekar. It is about smart cities. He said, I will make Panjim smart city. Forget about those designs they were shown that you hop in and hop out buses, and those are dreams, and it's difficult to come true. But at least a smart city should have a smart, proper pure water, proper sewage, proper health for
proper traffic. Just behind my home, those battery companies are there. They are all again friends of ours. But you have such a narrow road and you have parking on both sides. It has never traditionally been known as a road which has parking on two sides. It's impossible to drive there. Every time you get stuck there, such simple things which can be delivered in 2 minutes. It's about just an executive order. Please do not allow parking on this side. Put up a no parking board.
Any of the sides should be.
I'm not blaming the state government for this. It could be the municipality. It could be, the authorities. How long does it take to do this?
What is the sign of a smart city?
Basics first for a start. They are talking of smart cities being smart cities with good Wi-Fi, good all those technological things. But technologically we are so bad. Our Wi-Fi is in a miserable state. Our telephones are in a miserable state. I've just come back from Europe, and we are in 4G in Europe. It's so handicapped. We are so handicapped that it's so frustrating. You say, damn it, where are we? And we claim to be, having claimed that we have flown planes 400 years back, 300 years back, and all that jazz and all that story for people. We cannot get our basics right. So why talk of all this?
From London to Kampal, you must be feeling a lot of change.
No, I love Kampal. I would not leave Kampal for the love of anything. But as it's going on, getting worse and worse, sometimes you wonder, why do you love it so much? I sometimes get the vibe, I'm such a die-hard Indian, I refuse to get out of this country. But I'm now myself getting doubts. Where you see traffic problems, you have dirt, you have garbage, you have stinking waters, you don't have proper Wi-Fi, you don't have proper power, you don't have proper power, you don't have proper anything. So what are we claiming? Come down to earth. Come down to earth. Government of Goa, Government of India, come down to earth. We are not all that honky-dory and all that fancy that you try to market yourself and sugarcoat yourself. We are in a miserable mess. And the time has come to address that and say, yes, I'll tell you, the people would support any government when they say, yes, we have a problem. We all are part of the problem. Let's solve it. Let's not get into a situation of blaming people. And the blame game is getting too much. And I think the anger of the people, I see the anger everywhere.
Okay, one more aspect is that when we talk of smart city, from where it should start? First thing.
Power, for a start. Because without power, you get nothing. Water, roads, traffic.
And then hop in, hop out.
And good home department, good policing. This is where it starts. And everything else comes
second phase is hop in, hop out buses and so many things they have promised.
Absolutely.
Okay, before we wind up, actually, we'll just glance through few more newspapers. The Times of India has carried a front page story, Luisino Favaro's interview, which says, slam Congress, no ticket in next polls. If you slam Congress, better. You are not getting any tickets in the 2017 elections, but we have to see whether people would really like to contest on Congress tickets. That is another question. GPCC chief moots opposition coalition. He first time has spoken about a coalition, the one coalition which Vijay Sardesai was talking about, Grand Opposition Alliance, that is GOA. I think on similar lines he has said that opposition should come together, at least for now, to counter the state government. One more story which was actually would have, we like to have Hanuman Babu commenting, it was about a rumor or a news or fact, we don't know. There was a news that Babush Montserrat was likely to be inducted in the cabinet, but now the CM himself has said ki the Babush Mikila Mantri but Ashakya, they will not be given ministership again. This is one story, and another story on front page of Navin Times. In fact, another Navin Times has carried a story on its second front page, which says, front page anchor is about division in BJP over Athanasio's cabinet induction. That means BJP stands divided. That means also a group on BJP wants Babush Montserrat to be inducted. That's a news in that. And a front page headline story says, mining iceberg cracks shipyard skill, restaurateurs, house owners in the dock as more than 10,000 workers desert area. Now we have started feeling the pinch of no mining in many of the areas because people's capacity to sustain is shrinking. They cannot sustain anymore. Babush Montserrat and BJP and entire politics, what is your quick comment on that?
There's always been a rumor that that Babush has been close to Manohar Parrikar. It seems to be true because they are ruling the municipality, the corporation today. So it seems to be very true. But coming to the point of induction, we are talking of mining being a problem. We are talking of so many endemic issues which are affecting Goa. I think the time has come to make art, culture, music, food, heritage as the mainstays of the Goan economy. And like how Berlin is. Berlin runs on art and culture. That's how they live. That's how they get their money. And that's what we Goans are good at. So why do we bring things into the system like casinos for that matter and ruin our children, ruin our families? So in that situation, I mean, I'm not pitching for anyone, but yes, a great guy for induction to the cabinet would be Vishnu Wagh. Vishnu Wagh, I have known him for about a couple of years. I mean, I hope that he doesn't let us down because I feel because a lot of politicians have let us down. So I would like to see Vishnu in the cabinet as a person who will espouse. It could be either tourism.
So you have your faith in Vishnu Wagh?
Yeah, faith means, well, he's a friend. And I feel that since we are thinking of an axis change itself on the way Goa thinks and getting back to its core, Vishnu seems to be the best bet and the best ambassador for that line of thought because we need a complete paradigm shift in the way we operate.
Okay.
That's what I would like to see.
Before we wind
Yeah.
up again, we'll just glance through quickly two more newspapers. One is about Goadut. On Goadut, they have carried a front page interview of Sripad Naik, Ayush Minister. 30 crores people would be part of yoga. He says घरोघरी योग पोहोचवण्यासाठी कृती दल, that is a task force would be formed to take yoga everywhere. And one more headlines on Tarun Bharat. He says बेकायदा घराना लवकरच कायदेशीर छत्र, all those illegal structures with, of course, there is a asterisk, there is a conditions applied there. There are several constitutions will be regularized. So before we wind up our show, we ask one question to our guest. Supposedly you are a chief minister of Goa or you are a god of Goa. Tomorrow
we can never be gods.
Yeah, okay.
So let's not go
only
there.
only chief minister of
Yes.
Goa. Okay, and which news would have will appear tomorrow on front page?
That means if I am the chief minister.
You are the chief minister, you will do something which will appear like, what is your dream?
My dream would be to unite people, keep religion away. I'm very strongly Christian. I'm a strongly Jesus person, but that is a personal thing. So we have to unite, and that is one of the main problems. So I would go down that path and say that this is our line, and I would stand by it. And that's what I would like to have been known by.
For a communal harmony.
Absolute communal, because through harmony comes all progress.
And front page news would be the work starts on Santines Creek.
Absolutely.
Okay. Thank you very much.
I would like to say that yes, Santines, but I always call it the Kampal Creek because we have repositioned the creek to Kampal, not because I stay in Kampal, but because Kampal has got the allure. It's got so many beautiful things about it. So the positioning is important. So we say it's the Kampal Creek.
Kampal Creek.
Yes.
Okay, thank
Yes.
you very much. We always see a creek freak in Arman Bab every time he talks about the creek. Thank you very much for joining us on the show. You're watching your favorite show, The Morning After. Please keep watching us. Please stay safe, stay blessed, and from us, bye bye for now.